2 years ago, Image Movers Digital and Disney released the motion capture animated film Mars Needs Moms. Budgeted at a reported $150 million, it only made back approximately $15 million, closing at an astronomical loss. In the aftermath of this disaster, Hollywood marketers were faced with a staggering existential choice. They could either accept the truth, that there is no way to absolutely guarantee the financial success of any film, and that even their best efforts could be thwarted by the whims of circumstance. Or they could convince themselves that they had merely fallen victim to a pair of simple and easily avoidable mistakes. The studios derived two major lessons from the implosion of Mars Needs Moms. The first was that audiences just didn't like motion capture. The second was that audiences just didn't like Mars. Of these conclusions, the former led to the euthanization of practically every motion capture animated film on the industry's calendars. The latter led to something far more calamitous. A year earlier, Pixar guru Andrew Stanton was given a gargantuan budget to make his passion project, an adaptation of Edgar Rice Burroughs' legendary pulp sci-fi novel, A Princess of Mars. Stanton's extravagant production, however, became entangled in the Mars Needs Moms debacle, with the result that the film's working title, John Carter of Mars, had its planetary element unceremoniously amputated, leaving the film with a name that made it sound like a prosaic character study rather than an extraplanetary war film. Director Stanton, however, defended the choice, buying into the idea that the new title would make the film more accessible to a general audience. The philosophy that led to this excision extended to the rest of the film's marketing, which studiously avoided any mention of the film's plot, preferring to turn its trailers into visually striking but internally disconnected mood pieces, meant to convey a sense of nothing in particular, with the sci-fi element being played down to avoid alienating the people who had stayed home in droves when Mars Needs Moms landed in theaters. There was nothing that could be said about a film as bombastically sci-fi as John Carter. Andrew Stanton once again approved of and, in some cases, actually instigated these marketing decisions, all in service of trying to draw in an audience whose actions he could predict, but who were, unfortunately, imaginary. Real audiences, confused about what the rechristened John Carter was supposed to be, opted for other theatrical fare, like the vastly inferior The Lorax. Only the film's success in foreign markets prevented it from producing as monumental a loss as that engendered by Mars Needs Moms. The head of Disney at the time, Rich Ross, resigned over the film's failure, and later on he feebly attempted to blame Pixar for the film's financial collapse. But the truth is far more fundamental. Mars Needs Moms didn't fail because it was motion capture, or because it was set on Mars. It failed because no one liked it. And John Carter didn't fail because of Mars Needs Moms, or because of Rich Ross or Pixar. It failed because of the collective delusion on the part of everyone involved that they knew what was really happening. Marketing is, at its core, an art of deception. This is a truth so widely accepted and jubilantly exploited that it is possible to forget that often the first victim of an ad man's deception is himself. At the heart of this self-deception is the idea that it is possible to predict anything in entertainment, when in fact, the only certainty is that no matter how powerful you are, no matter how masterful a prognosticator you may think you are, what you really know is nothing.